everybody? Welcome to the Friday, Fantastically Fun Friday edition of Wonder Friends, where we're going to hang out, we're going to draw some stuff, we are going to have some fun. I'm going to do a couple doodles real quick while we have some time for everybody to start loading in here. If you get in here, just say some highs in the comments. Say hello, what's going on, whatever you'd like to say. Throw it in the comments there. Love to hear where everybody's coming from today, how things are going. It's Friday. How's your parents doing? Teaching? How's your teachers doing? Teaching? Are you guys taking some time to tell your parents and your teachers what's up? You appreciate them. Thanks for doing what they're doing, all that stuff like that. Because this isn't hard for any of us. It's all crazy hard to do, right? So it's just as hard for you as I'm sure it is for them as they're trying to figure out all this stuff too. It is one of those things I think that nobody really knew what to do with. So as we start getting warmed up here, I'm just going to do some like little doodles. If you guys want to draw with me, you can feel free while we're waiting for everybody to kind of load in, all that stuff like that. So it's Friday. It's Fantastically Fun Friday. What that means is we're going to spend some time, quite a decent amount of time, drawing some stuff together. We're just going to make some things. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk in the comments. We're going to play games. We're going to see if you can guess some of the stuff I'm drawing. We're going to do all kinds of stuff today that might be a little different than what we normally do. And the reason why is that we need a day just to kind of unwind, a day to just hang out and have fun, be creative, and just kind of recharge our batteries. And that's what we're going to do today. That's the aim of Fridays here on Wonder Friends. So, guys, let me switch over here real quick and say hi to everybody. What's going on, everybody? In Porter and Harper, what's going on? Emily, good to see you again. So, guys, I want to remind everybody, if you're just tuning in, or if this is the first time you've tuned in this week, or whatever it might be, that starting Monday, April 27th, so this coming Monday, we are changing our schedule. So we will now have our shows from 2 p.m. to 3-ish, somewhere around there, where the reason why was that it was conflicting. Our time right now is conflicting with so many other kids doing stuff with school. I think this is a much easier way for us to be able to reach more people. It's also a way for more kids to be able to check it out and all that stuff like that. And I am changing the whole format of the show. There is going to be a little bit more structure. I have learned so much as I've been doing this stuff, and I've been asking so many questions. Next week is kind of like putting it all together now. So just like you guys, I'm learning as I go, the same as you guys are in school learning. I'm kind of learning in real life, and sometimes you get it right and sometimes you get it wrong. And I feel like up until this point, I did okay. I've done all right, and I think I could do better, and I really want to make this better. So starting next week, I'm going to try to just change a little bit to see if I can make it a little bit better for all of you tuning in, to make sure that we have more fun and do all the stuff that you guys are interested in. So thank you all for any sort of feedback that you've given me, all that stuff like that. And my goal is to make this a much more exciting show for you all to watch. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. And if you haven't already, make sure you go check out that time capsule and download it. It's there for you. And you got all of those PDF downloads. Those are all available on my website, wondervillestudios.com. They are 100% free for you to check out. Please do so. And also, we got a bunch of books, and all of my books are available on Amazon. They're available at your local bookstore. They're available on my website. They're available on this site. You can figure out a way to get them. I would appreciate any support that you give. There we go. I said all of the cool stuff, and you guys are ready to get to doing some drawings, because I am. So all we need today is we just need paper and markers. We're just going to hang out, have a good time, like I said, and we're just going to talk probably for like an hour and hang out and just draw some stuff. So yesterday I was asking for some ideas. And some kids gave me some ideas and all that stuff like that. So we're going to kind of do all that. So first, let's get our fingers ready to draw. Let's get stretched. Get ready to create some stuff. And remember how we do that here is we do a warm-up scribble. So that warm-up scribble, what does it mean? If you haven't seen it before, it means that you make a scribble. Just like it sounds, a scribble. I spin mine And if it lands the same way I drew it, I spin it again. And if it does it again, I'll spin it just a little bit more. And the point of this is that we're trying to draw something that isn't there. So we're using our brains to connect our creativity to create something, not for what we see, but what we feel like it could be. So as you look at your scribble that you have, what could you turn it into? Look at it for what it is and just draw along with me. There's no right or wrong answer here. I want you to just to create something out of that scribble you just made. So just have some fun with it. You can watch me as I do mine. You can look up from what you're doing if you'd like, or you can just go ahead and do yours and just make yours into anything that you want, and you can just make something. The whole point of this is that we are just getting warmed up, just like if we were playing some sports, we do some stretching and stuff like that. Creativity is no different. We have to get our mind, our mental parts of us just as strong, right? And that's exactly what we're doing here. So we're just kind of warming up our brains. And so this guy's like kind of turning into a, I don't know what he is. He's kind of like a little chubby dog rat kind of character, right? Doesn't really have any kind of thing about it. You guys have any things that are popping up in your characters that you think is kind of funny that you can turn it into something cool? And don't be afraid to add stuff like I just did here, like an eye patch, right? Add some things on it to make it fun, to make it different, make it unique, and all that stuff like that. Because the point of this is we are just warming up. We are getting ready to draw. So the point is that we're making just marks on a page. Marks on a page, that's it. The cool part about creativity, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, is there is no right answer to it. You can make things kind of any way that you want. And the things that you're making, it's just between you and the paper. That's what's kind of cool about that thing to me. I'm going to show you something kind of funny that I can do right here. So if I draw this kind of thing here, and I do this, right? It doesn't look like anything now, but watch if I spin it. Now it's a whole different character. So inside that one doodle, I was able to make two different doodles inside there, right? So there's no, again, guys, as we've talked about, there are no answers to what you can make. It's all about making what you think it can be, not for what it is. That's what creativity is all about. It's creating something from nothing, right? That's kind of what the magic of what we can do as creative people. And if you don't think you're creative, I'm going to tell you right now that you're 100% wrong. Everybody is creative. You may be really good at math, or you may be really good at science. You may not be that good at drawing, but that's okay. That doesn't matter, because let me tell you something. I was never good at reading. I was never good at writing. I was afraid to do it because I didn't feel like I connected all of it. I had a hard time sitting still. Things didn't make sense to me. A lot of times when I would sit down and write, I didn't understand where periods and commas and all those things like that went, and it really kind of just confused me, and it didn't make a lot of sense. And when I was little, I just kind of thought that that meant that I wasn't good at something, and I stopped, and I didn't try. But then as I started growing up, I really, really wanted to be a writer, and I really wanted to write books. So I let that scare me into writing because I thought I couldn't write. But then all of a sudden I decided, what if I'm wrong? Like, what if I could have been wrong this whole time? And I just tried, and I learned how to be creative, and I learned what I could do. So 5 years ago, I had never written a book. Never, ever. I was like afraid to write 5 years ago, only 5 years ago. Okay. Now, fast forward, I'm going to have, I think right now it's at like 16 or 17 books that are going to be coming out. If they aren't already out, they're coming out. All because all I did different was I started to try. Same thing as we're doing here. You can be creative. It's a matter of trying. Be willing to try to do something that you may not be able to do. So check it out. Right from a scribble, we made two characters, right? Can you do the same thing for yours? I bet you can if you try, right? You can create double-sided things. And so let's see. Let's say hi to some friends. We got Emily, Porter, and Harper are checking out. The K-Kids are in the house. Super excited you guys could be here. And Macy, what's up, Macy? Good to see you. Hey, Robertson girls, what's happening? So, guys, as you're coming in new, this is going to be probably about an hour long. On Fridays, we're going to shoot for an hour. We're just going to hang out, chill. We're going to talk. We're going to draw. We're going to color. We're going to play games. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. I want you to be active in the comments. If there are things that you want me to draw or things you just want to talk about, like let me know. How are things going for you? Are there things that you want to talk about? Don't worry about if they're, if it's a question that you think is not, it's not a good question. This question is dumb. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Every question is valid. Every question is worthy, all that stuff like that. We'll do our best to answer them, and we'll just try to have some fun while we're doing it. So I want to take a little bit of an exploration of this idea, and I want to expand on this idea. Can we make two characters in one drawing, right? And I think that we can. And here's the deal. So I want you to get a new piece of paper, all right? And on your new piece of paper, I think for this one, do I want to do it in color or no? I'm going to stick with doing it in black, right? So I'm going to get to, because it'll bleed through here. Now, we were going to make two characters in one. And I think for the sake of being able to fit it all, let's do it vertical, all right? Now, vertical, let's make it kind of easy on ourselves to start with. Let's do just a big oval like this, okay? Now, the one thing that if you would look at this one that makes it a little harder is that because it has this shape on the body, it definitely doesn't necessarily look like 100% like one thing. We're going to see if we can make something that is, whichever way you turn it, it still looks like it's supposed to be a character either way. Warning, I've never done this before. Honestly, I've never tried it. This will be my first time right along with you guys. So it might be good. It might be bad. I don't know. But you guys are willing to try with me because I'm willing to try with you. Let's see what happens out of this. Okay, if we're looking at this, let's pretend easy. I think the first part would be we have a top and bottom, okay? We would have just a line going through here. I think that's kind of the easy way to go. So Grant and Ella, what's happening, guys? Good to see you. Where's everybody coming from today? Let's see how far away people are. So if you can just put in maybe what state you live in, or if you want to put the city, you can. And I just like to see how far away everybody is. What's everybody doing today? What's the weather like where you're at? Anything on your mind, all that stuff like that. Feel free. Put it in the comments. We'll read through them. All right, so we have a top and bottom. Now, for the bottom, I know that both sides are going to need eyeballs, right? So we're going to need to put eyeballs, all right? And let's put two of those here. And again, if you guys are just joining, I've never done this before. So I hope that it works. I've never done it, and then maybe you've never done it. Or maybe you have done it, and you kind of know something more than I do. That would be cool too. I don't know. I've never done it, so we're going to find out. So I got these two eyeballs. We're going to need mouths. Okay, now how would I make a mouth that looks like it would be useful both ways? So I think let's do some straight lines. Now, we don't have to always make these both exactly the same, I don't think yet, but we're going to see. And I'm going to put on this one, I'm going to put like a line around it like that. And on this one, I'm going to put a line like that. Okay. We got Florida, Ohio, Columbus, Dublin. Got a lot of Ohio in the house. Got Gahanna. What's up, Hudson? Good to see you, buddy. Holly, good to see you. Kimberly, good to see you as well. So we got, is that a space cat? Is that what that is? Are we talking space cat? You looking to draw a space cat, Kimberly? Is that what's going on there? So we can see if we can throw that into the mix. All right, so now I have those things. Let's put in, I don't know. I think arms is important, right? So I'm going to draw two arms here. And then I think for this one, I want to draw some noodle arms. And let's put in some things here. Now, remember, I think we're going to find out how this works. Again, when you try something new and you don't know, the question I have for you is, if you try something new and you don't know how to do it, and you do it the first time, does that mean it's wrong? Or does that mean that it gives you something to start from the next time? Because here's the thing I think happens when people try to start something they don't know, is the first thing they do is they try. And they look at everybody else that has done it, and they think because theirs doesn't look as good as somebody else's that they can't do something. And I think that's so wrong. Because the thing is it's so scary to try something new sometimes that even just trying it, maybe something you didn't think you could do and you might not have done it the best, but you showed up and you tried. That's a victory. That is a win in my book. Like if you've ever done that before, if you've ever tried something that freaked you out, and maybe you didn't do it the best, but you tried it, I think you deserve a little pat. So just give yourself a little pat on the back there, because the thing is that even though I'm doing this and I've never done this before, and I don't think it's going to turn out great, I'm not going to get worried about that. I know that there are a lot of people that can do this and it's so much better than mine, because the thing is that I'm being brave enough to try it. I'm trying it. And I'm doing it in front of you, right? I'm not doing it, in the privacy where nobody can see it. I'm doing it out there in public so everybody can see it. And that's, kind of scary, right? And so sometimes the things that we want to do more than anything can be kind of scary. And we think because we're not good enough that we don't deserve it, or there's something wrong with us because we don't get it. But that's the thing about trying something new, guys, is that if you don't try, you're never going to know. And everybody that you look up to, that you look at as being some amazing person, let's say like LeBron James, right? The best basketball player, whatever you want to think about him, right? Best basketball player. Or maybe there's a dancer or a musician that you're thinking of or something like that. They all started the exact same place you did. They all started not really knowing how to do it. LeBron James did not pick up a basketball the very first time and dunk it. He probably didn't even dribble it right. He probably did the same thing of all of us, but he tried, right? And so that's kind of what we're doing here, is we're just trying. I don't think it's going to turn out right, but I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to put some legs on it. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to put some legs on it down here, okay? And I put those legs on it down there. And let's see, up here, I want this character to have like some funky ears. Like this, okay? And then I'm going to put some eyebrows on it, right? And this. And then this one, I'm going to put like a big unibrow on this one, okay? And right in the middle, I'm going to put, what should I put in here? I'm going to do this, this, and this, okay? And let's put a belt. Because why not? All right. So if you want to put some little dots around there, you can. If you want to put some like little dimples, if you want to put some like little something like that, you can kind of do that. So if we're looking at this now, we kind of have a fun character that could be doing, like, I don't know, like maybe on its belly is some sort of something happening here. But let me see if, let's flip our character now. Let's see what happens when we flip it around. Oh, see, look at that. See, that character kind of has a whole different thing to it, right? Did yours do the same thing? When you flipped it over, did all of a sudden a new character show up that you didn't know was there? Because I can see it if you watch. Watch when we start flipping it. Watch what happens. About right there. Do you see how this guy starts to take over? And you focus on that part. And you kind of forget about this a little bit, right? And you look at him as he's just a guy that has two stubby hands and a longer arms down here. And those ears that were on the other side become feet on this guy. And then if we flip it back this way, about right there, this guy starts to stick up. And now, as we start to flip it, you notice a whole different thing. Now let's make up a story about this guy. So I think this guy on the top, his name is Wiggles McGiggles, okay? So Wiggles McGiggles went to the grocery store today. He bought his favorite food, and his favorite food happens to be lemons, okay? And he is so excited about the lemons because these are the best lemons that Wiggles McGiggles has ever had. They're perfect. I mean, the yellow on those lemons could not be any better, right? He's so excited about those that he's going to tell everybody. He's like, hey, bros, get over here. They have the best lemons around ever. We have to get here. And he is ready to scream it from the rooftops about how amazing these lemons are. But then, as he walks up to pay his friend, ears for tears. He pays his friend ears for tears. That he says, oh my gosh, ears for tears. My name is Wiggles McGiggles. You have what I have found to be the best lemons that I have ever seen. I think that they're amazing. I think that I love them. I think that I want to marry them. That's how amazing I think those lemons are. And so, ears for tears says, well, that's fantastic, sir. I think that your admiration and your love for my lemons is amazing. And in fact, it will only cost you $2 to have all of those lemons. Now, here's the thing. Wiggles McGiggles reaches into his pockets, who happen to be lined with pink and yellow fabric, into his pants, and he pulls it out, and he realizes that he's got 2 lemons in his hands, and his dollars fall onto the ground. And as the dollars fall onto the ground, this little guy right here comes out of nowhere, grabs the dollars, and is super excited because these guys are dollar goblins. And the dollar goblins, they take all that money and they run away to the land of lost dollars. And Wiggles McGiggles, his lemons go bad. His lemons go bad. Hold on. I gotta make it. His lemons go bad. And they start to mold. And as the lemons start to mold, Wiggles McGiggles decides that he now has to move on because there are no more lemons. There you go. We made up a story just from doing a flip-flop. And that, guys, that is how I write stuff. Now, that sounds weird, I know, but that's what I do, is I make stuff up just like that. I will create things like this, and I'll start to make stories. Now, this is coming from somebody that didn't think that they could do this before. I want to emphasize this point to you guys more than anything. The reason why I am starting Wonder Friends, the reason why I want this to reach more kids, the reason why this is really important to me is because I want you guys to understand that I know what it was like to be your age, to have a big dream, that you have no clue how you're ever going to do it. But there's something inside you that tells you that you are meant to do this. And I know what it means and what it feels like to have that and have no clue how to do it. And I tried and I tried. And it wasn't until I stopped trying so hard and I started to believe in myself that I started to be nice to myself. We talk about this, right? All the time. The KUP, the cup idea, right? It's our kindness towards ourselves, right? Ourselves is the big important part there. I said the worst stuff to myself all the time. I wasn't good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not creative enough. All those things. And the whole time, the only person who was hurting was me. It wasn't hurting anybody else. I was hurting myself because I wasn't able to tell myself the things I needed to hear to get to do that because I didn't believe in my you. I didn't believe that I was unique. I didn't believe my story was worth telling. I didn't believe that there was anything special about me. And so as I started being nicer to myself and I understood that I was unique, and then I applied it and I started practicing it. The same as you go to school every day. You practice, you show up, you do it, you do it. You may not want to do it, but you still show up, right? And you keep doing it and you get better at it. That is how I went from not knowing how to do this to doing the thing that I love, the thing that I wished I could do when I was 6 years old. I get to do it now just because I started to adopt those things. Now, does that mean I'm perfect? Absolutely not. That means I make mistakes still. It means that sometimes I'm not nice to everybody. Sometimes I do like things that I wish I wouldn't have. But that's just part of being alive. That's part of being human, is that you're going to make mistakes. But in your mistakes, you're going to find that there's some pretty cool stuff in there. Because your mistakes are the things that are going to teach you that you can do something that you've never done before. And it turns out pretty cool. And it could be something that's fun. And you show yourself that you did something different that you didn't know you can do. Kind of cool, right? So there we go. That is the beauty of just trying. So let's see some ideas, guys. I want you to throw in the comments some things that you want to draw. So I saw a kitty spider. So we want to do a cat spider is one of the things in here. I'm going to put that on my list over here so we can start this kind of list of things. If you guys have any other ideas, throw them in there. We're going to start to build some idea lists that we're going to do. And we're going to play a couple games. I want you to try to guess what I'm drawing. I'm going to look around my office here, and I'm going to see if I can find some stuff. And I'm going to try to draw it and see if you can guess what it is. I think that would be kind of a fun game. And I'm going to start one right now while you guys start loading up some lists that you would like to see in there. I'm going to start drawing some stuff, and you guys see if you can guess what it is. And you're going to need to put this in the comments of what you think it is. And if you don't spell it right, I don't care. Like, I'm going to figure out what you're saying. You don't have to spell perfect. Like, do you know how bad of a speller I am? I am so bad at spelling. So let's start playing the guessing game as you guys are starting to put in some ideas into there. Anybody idea what that is? Does anybody have an idea? A robot flower? I'm gonna start writing some of these things, and let's see how long it takes us to guess some of these things here. So this isn't very good. I'm going to keep drawing another thing of it. So let's see. I'm going to draw the same thing again and see if you guys can guess what it might be. Any guesses on that? A pirate. Arr, a pirate. So all right, I think I'm going to move on past one because that one's not so good. That's tape. That's what that's supposed to be. I'm not very good at drawing realistic things, so that's why that was kind of hard. I have one more for you. Let's see if you guys can guess what this is. Any ideas what this is? Oh, you guys got tape? Yep, all right on. Got the tape. What do you think this is? Here. Toilet paper. Close. It did look like toilet paper. Yep, that's pretty good. What do you think this is here? See, that mine are actually this color too. So that's kind of interesting. So if I kind of do headphones, you nailed it, right? You got it. They are headphones. All right, so we got a couple things here. We're going to draw something there. And now let's see. If I remember right, I'm going to make sure I jump on this one, that yesterday Grant and Ella both had mentioned that they wanted to see a squirrel. So I think that we're going to draw a squirrel first so that we can make sure that we are showing that we got some good listening ears and memory skills, that some people had asked for a couple things, and I want to make sure that we're able to do those. Now, a squirrel. Now, when we start to draw these things and we start to think about this stuff, what are some things that you can think of about squirrels? And this is kind of a great way to start if you're ever wanting to make some things, like if you want to make up characters. This is a great exercise, and I'm going to show you guys some tricks that I do. And squirrels, which is a really hard word to spell. I always get stuck on it. And it's SQUIRREL. Is that right? Squirrel. I think that's right. Hopefully it's right. If it's wrong, you guys can tell me, because I rely heavily on spell check, and my this marker doesn't have spell check, so unfortunately. So if I spell it wrong, you got to tell me, but I'm going to try my best. So squirrel. What are some things when you think of a squirrel that are the parts of it, right? What makes up a squirrel? How do you know it's a squirrel versus a bear, right? Those are things that when I start to create characters, now I've practiced so much at at it that in my head, I picture it a lot easier. But when I first started making characters, I used to always get stuck on how to draw them. So if you think about a squirrel, first thing is it's small, right? I think that it's got that tail, right? You think of that big, fluffy tail. Now, are its ears gigantic like an elephant or small, right? So you start to think of those things like small ears, right? And if you look at one, they kind of have like a long body, right? Their body is not like, they wouldn't be short and pudgy like a donut. They're going to be long and stretched out like a hot dog, right? It's going to be a little bit longer of a type of character, right? So it's got a long body. What we got? We got a Dynamite Turtle. Dynamite Turtle. All right. Put that down on there too. So, thanks, Macy. I think you're pretty cool too. I saw what you were doing with all your drawings. I think that's pretty awesome that you're giving them to your neighbors. That's really, really cool. I think that your neighbors are going to love that. So, as we're drawing a squirrel, we're going to start with our paper up and down. Okay. Now we know that a squirrel is small. It's got a tail that's fluffy, right? It's got that fluffy tail. And fluffy tail. So don't try to read this. My handwriting's bad. So you can try to read it if you want, but you probably won't be able to. Fluffy tail, small ears, and a long body. So when we start to do this, we know that we're going to have to leave space for that big tail. So instead of starting smack dab in the middle of your paper, we want to kind of start just a little bit over here. So that way you have plenty of room for that, okay? So the first thing I would do is I'm going to draw just like a C, just like that, okay? So this C shape that comes over just like that. And we know, because we said, their body is long. They have a long body, like a hot dog. So we're going to draw a shape just like that down, okay? And on this back side, we are going to draw another shape that comes down just like that, right? Now, I know that I made that a little skinny. Now, here's the question for you. When we mess up and we make something skinny when it should be bigger, does that mean that we're completely wrong on it, or can we fix it? We can fix it. I'm going to show you why, or show you how, okay? So just because we made this line with a Sharpie and I can't erase it doesn't mean anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that mistake into a win for me, okay? And here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go up just a little bit, okay? Right up here. And I'm going to loop this out just like that, okay? And when I loop that out, I'm going to right here, I'm going to leave this space, okay? Now, when I leave this space, I'm going to draw a little loop just like that, okay? Now, what's up, Luann? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Macy, but you're the coolest. I don't know about that. I think you're pretty cool too. I think we're all pretty cool. And so then when we stopped right here, guys, what we're going to do is we are going to draw a hot dog shape right there, okay? That is the back foot, right? If you ever look at a squirrel, they have those big muscular back legs. Because if you watch a squirrel, they don't walk like this. They like jump, they leap, right? And it looks like they're going really fast. That's because they have those really strong back legs. All right, now, our mistake that I made. This is how I'm going to fix it. Watch this. I'm going to take this line and I'm going to just turn it into an arm. Just like that, right? Boom, arm, done. Easy peasy. Now this one, I'm going to draw a line just like this, and I'm going to draw another parallel. We know parallel is a line that rides beside another line, okay? And we're going to have, so do squirrels eat, what do squirrels eat? Squirrels eat hot dogs, chicken nuggets, and French fries, right? Or they eat like, I don't know, nuts, right? So let's say that our squirrel here is a super healthy squirrel. And our super healthy squirrel, instead of just eating nuts, has now found the coolest nut smoothie shop around. And this nut smoothie shop makes walnuts, pistachios, peanuts, and acorn smoothies for the health-conscious squirrels of the world. So if a squirrel's watching its weight, this place is the place to be. and we're gonna call it smoothie. Let's see, it's a smoothie. It's a nut smoothie place. What kind of names can we come up with a nut smoothie? But you know what? That's a question for you guys. Put in the comments what would be a good name for a squirrel smoothie place. Tell me what you think. A squirrel smoothie place. So there's like Smoothie King for us. There's like, I don't know, other Planet Smoothie, stuff like that. What would be a good name for a squirrel smoothie place? So as you're thinking of that, let's put down, let's see. Okay, so the cool part about this squirrel nut smoothie place is they serve all the smoothies in acorns, okay? Like an acorn-shaped cup. So what we're gonna do with that is it is a shape that is just like this. So it's kind of a little bit of a squiggly line. And then you're gonna make that exact line back the other way, okay? So if I get that a little closer so you guys can see, okay? And where it stopped there, we're gonna put a lid on it, right? Just a straight line across. And it needs a cap, right? It needs a lid. And, you know, acorns have that little shape like that, right? Now here's the cool part. We gotta put that little bit of a check mark on it, right? Because this, you know, acorn top has those little things. Now check this out. We're gonna draw a straw. Because I mean, it's a smoothie place. I mean, let's be honest, it's gotta have a straw. You can't just like dump a smoothie down your throat. So let's see, we got the smoothie place. Now we're gonna have this character holding this cup. So here's the trick, right? If you're holding something yourself, your hand is gonna curve around. Okay. Now our squirrel does not have fingers, right? It's got paws. So the paws, the easy way to do that is just make it like pretend like if you close your fist, we're going to do the same thing with the squirrel. We're just going to put a circle shape just like this right here. Now it looks like if I color that in, let's say my squirrel is gray. If I color this in, now that's the hand, right? And then let's say that this acorn is a yellow color. So you can see, I'm doing this so you can see the difference. You don't have to stop the color. I just want to show you so you can kind of see how it looks like it's holding it, right? Same sort of thing. And you could put, like, if you want to show the stripes, you can totally, or the straw, you can put like little stripes in there, right? Like a straw. So now we have that. So what kind of names did we come up? We have, let's see here. Marshmallows, good name. Nuts Nums, I like that one. Blended Nuts, that's a good one too. We can, like, there's so many, like, that's a fun game. We can come up with like the different names for a squirrel nut smoothie place. Okay, now that we have that, now that we've established all of that good stuff. Now, we said squirrels have small ears. Small ears are simple. They are just little bumps like this. Little bumps just like this, right? Now, here's one thing that we did forget to do is we forgot to put on our front leg, right? So now we have our leg here. We're gonna draw another shape just like that. So it's just another bump over, just like that. And then put like two little lines on it. And those little lines give us the ideas for toes. Now, we know that squirrels have fur, and the easy way to do fur is just draw like a couple lines. You don't have to draw all the fur, just like 2 or 3. You know, you can do a couple of those like in different spots, and it's a great way for people to know that it's a furry animal without you needing to like just, you know, kill your marker and get all the ink out of it. You don't need to do that. Now, for eyes, right, we're going to have 2 circles right there for eyes, right? Now, remember we talked about a bunch of times is we want the person looking at our cartoon to know where to look. So we're making sure that our eyeballs are pointing to this, right? Because this is the funny, right? The funny part of our squirrel. So we're going to draw those things pointing down there. Now, a squirrel has kind of like a little bit bigger nose, I think, than like a cat would, right? So we can kind of draw just an oval there and color it in. And we're going to make a smile just like that, right? Just like that. And if you want, I mean, you can totally have like the tongue hanging out, like, you know, it's getting super excited about this smoothie from Blended Nuts or Nutty Sips or Nut Nums, whatever you want to call it. I think that we got some good names here. You can add in some whiskers if you want. into your squirrel. I think that this squirrel would have just like a couple goofy little hairs that are on top of its head. And let's just put some eyebrows on there. Super simple, right? Now, that big fluffy tail. Guys, here's where I want you to have some fun with this. Like put whatever kind of tail you want on this thing. Your squirrel doesn't have to have a big fluffy tail. It's your world. Put any kind of tail that you would like to put on this squirrel. If you want to put a bubblegum tail, cool. If you want to give it like a tail of balloons, I don't care. Just like be creative in making a shape that is, I don't know, whatever you want it to be. Like I'm going to say my squirrel tail is like this, and I'm going to add some things around here. I'm going to have it be a hairy tail, kind of like this. It could be any kind of tail that you want. You could put stripes on it if you want. You can add like some extra details to it. You can make this tail like its own character if you wanted to. Add in whatever kind of things that you would like to add for the tail part. And if we want to draw like a line down here, this is a great way for us to give us a ground line, okay? And that, my friends, is how we draw a squirrel, all right? So make sure that you sign it on there. Nutty Sips, whatever you want to call it. Let's say, I'm going to say Nutty Sips, and I'm going to put an S on it like it's a store, just like a McDonald's. You can set that aside. We can color it later. As we get set up for the next drawing, I'm going to do another guessing game. See if you guys can guess this. The next one I think we're going to draw is a Dynamite Turtle. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but we're going to figure it out. And I'm going to draw one more thing here and see if you guys can guess what this might be. Let's see. Let me look around. Okay, I got an idea. All right. So this thing looks like this first. And it's got one side that comes down and another side that comes down. And another part like this. Okay? Now, inside of this is another shape just like this. And it runs inside just like this. Okay? Now, the outside of this thing is actually glass. And the inside has this one part that goes up like that. Can you guys guess what that is? Any guesses? As you're doing that, I'm going to start another one too. So here's this one. I have another thing that goes like this. And it comes out. And it goes up like this and out like this. And it has a C on it. So, you guys think about that. I'm going to move on. A candle, you got it. And this one is, of course, I think we know what this one is, right? We can figure that one out. So, let's get to this Dynamite Turtle. All right, we got a Dynamite Turtle. All right, Dynamite Turtle, Dynamite Turtle, Dynamite Turtle. All right, a hat, you nailed it. So, I don't need that anymore. So we got a Dynamite Turtle. We're going to start with our page horizontal this time, okay? Now, as we start horizontal, we are going to draw Dynamite Turtle. Who wrote Dynamite Turtle? Let's see who that is. Let's see. Okay, Holly. Holly has the Dynamite Turtle. All right, guys, so all those listening in Holly's house, we're going to draw a Dynamite Turtle, and I'm thinking that we are going to make the turtle... Okay, I have an idea. You're gonna have to bear with me. We're gonna go old school cartoon idea with this. So let's draw our oval just like this. Okay? Let's just draw a big circle, but leave this side open. All right? And then I want you to draw two lines that go up. And from that, I want you to draw a line over. Okay? Now, on the front side of this, I want us to draw a line that comes up like this. It goes up and around, okay? Up and around. All right. And then I want to draw another line that comes down just like this. Okay. And we are going to connect it. Now, if you can see, my guess is this is going to be a turtle head, right? Now, turtle legs, simple. Let's just draw some rectangles. And because turtles have 4, we're going to draw 4 rectangles, okay? And turtles have like those little tails that are just little things like this, right? Now, a turtle's shell has like little segments, right? And sometimes those can be just kind of odd shapes. So we're going to try to, you break those up into just little shapes like this, right? And you can draw like the shapes different if you want. If you want yours to be like star shapes or butterfly shapes or, you know, whatever, you can draw them any kind of shapes you want inside of that, right? So this idea is we're trying to combine 2 different things here. And I'm going to put a couple little bumps on the front of our turtle because they have like little turtle toes, right? Okay, now let's get some eyeballs on here. Our eyeballs, the circles. We're gonna put some circles on there. And one of the things about a turtle is they have this little thing around their neck. So let's just draw a line out and come down, right? And then let's just put some lines on that because they have underneath them, like their bottom of their neck is kind of like us. We have like all that like fleshy kind of thing. If you feel your neck, you have like that, like it's softer than the back of your neck, right? The front of your neck is a little bit softer where all the stuff is that you swallow and all that stuff like that. It's the same for a turtle, like the back of their neck, you know, because they have a spine just like us. It's harder, but the front is a little softer. So this is kind of like that skin of that front that's softer. Now, if you look at a turtle has like a little bit of a beak to it. It's got a little bit of a point, and their mouth kind of curves just a little bit. And how we're going to do that is you start right here towards the bottom part of that point, and you're going to draw just a line that squiggles up. So it goes up, over, and up, okay? Up, over, up. It's just a squiggly little line. And at the end of it, just put a little thing like that, okay? Now let's put some eyeballs on our turtle, right? And just like everything else, a turtle needs to breathe as well. So breathing, we're going to put a couple little knots just on the end because they have tiny little nostrils. They don't have big, huge nostrils. They have little ones. And let's see. I think that my turtle, I feel like my turtle needs to have like a mohawk. I think that my turtle, if he's a Dynamite Turtle, would have like some cool mohawk because he's like in a rock and roll band called like the Shells, and the Shells are just a rockin' band, and they have the coolest mohawks. So I'm gonna draw like a cool mohawk on my turtle. If you want to draw a different kind of hairstyle on your turtle, feel free. Like, that's the cool part, right, guys? We're just making stuff. So if you want to do something different, by all means, do something different. Like, this is all we are. We're just hanging out, chilling, having a good time today, relaxing from all the stuff about school, all the stuff with our parents teaching us. And I bet your parents are even wanting a break too. So this is a great time for parents to take a break. And we have this part in here. We're going to draw what would make this a Dynamite Turtle. So that line right there, and let's draw a parallel line right there, and then let's put some lines on it. Okay? Now, this is that old school part I'm talking about. It's like an old school, like, you know, I don't know, like if you look at those, like they made them like balls, and then they would roll them like they were bowling balls, and then they like Tom and Jerry, and they would like blow up. Like that's kind of what we're talking about here. Would be what this kind of character is made from. And so yeah, like this is a Dynamite Turtle. You can even put like, if you want like a cool like tattoo on its neck, like, you know, he's like in a band, you know, you can put like anything. You can put anything in there. You can put like, you know, if he's in a band, maybe he's got like his instrument equipment's over here. You know, and he's like, his microphone is all set and ready to go, and he's ready to sing. But you know, the thing about their rock band is the music. It's super slow because it's a turtle. So they play like slow jams, like super slow jams. And a turtle would sing like every other beat. So it would be, you know, like that kind of thing. That, my friends, is a Dynamite Turtle. So we got about 10 minutes. We got enough time for like one more. I'm going to do one more for you. Let's make one of my favorites. I love drawing pirates. Pirates are lots of fun. Pirates are fun because they can be anything, because they are in our imaginations. We can make them up. We can have fun with them. So what we're going to draw is we're going to draw like this monster pirate. And guys, I want you to just have some fun with this guy. Make any kind of like additions to this that you would like to do. I want to draw a character just like this first. So I'm going to draw a squiggly, okay? And I'm going to draw on this side a line like that. And I'm going to draw a line back that way. Right now, I know it looks like nothing, but it will turn into something, I promise. And let's draw our line that comes back that way. And then let's draw a line that comes back that way. Okay. Now, let's do 2 of these things just like this. And let's make a squiggly lines just like that. Because arg, right? And let's continue this around there. And let's give this guy like a little tiny belly, like a little tiny body, okay? Now, I think that we should add some like little lines on his teeth. Just like little squigglies. And maybe some up and down lines. Okay. Now, what those little squigglies are is, I don't know about you, but I'm going to imagine that pirates don't brush their teeth. And their teeth are probably kind of gross. And they'd be kind of moldy and gnarly and stinky. So my pirate has yellow, moldy teeth. And then this would be its tongue, of course. Tongue would still be pink. All right, so we got the tongue in there. All right. And then we are going to draw an inside of the mouth. Now, you can draw an inside of the mouth that's just really small too if you want, which is kind of funny also. And if I color this in. Just like that, right? Okay, now that we have that established, we are going to make this guy like he's jumping up and down. So what we're going to do is we're going to have one arm out, one out there and one out there, just like that. All right, we'll see you Sunday. Actually, Monday. I won't be here on Monday or on Sundays. We take the weekends off now, so it's just Monday through Friday. So I'll see you on Monday. So we are going to have a leg out like that, and then let's put our peg leg down here, just like this. So reality is this guy's really standing on one leg, okay? Now remember, we can be any sort of thing we want in our world, and I'm just going to draw an arm out just like this. And on the end of that, we are going to put a little half circle, just like that. See you, Macy. Have a good day. And we're going to draw our hook hand right there. Now, we have on here an eye patch moment, okay? And we're going to do that by just drawing this little dude like this. And then let's put a little arch down and fill that in, okay? And on the other side of that, let's draw a circle and put an eye thingy in there. And let's draw a nose. And your nose could be any kind of thing like that. You can make any kind of nose on there. If you want to draw like a square nose or a round nose, I don't really care. Like just make some kind of nose. It's all good. And then I'm just going to draw on this hand like a short stubby. Just a short stubby one, right? And let's put on his chest like a crossbones. So that is just shapes just like that. You can put like a heart crossbones on there, or you can really kind of put any kind of crossbones. Or if you don't want to put a crossbone, you put a star. You can put whatever emblem that you want your pirate to have. And then I'm going to fill this in just like that. Right? Now, if I draw some squiggly lines like this, what this means is it just kind of showing like a ground that also shows like a shadow. It kind of gives it your character a little something it's standing on is a great way to do this. Now, now that we got this, let's add in just a couple little elements. Let's put maybe some freckles right there. Now, I want you to think about your hair for your pirate. What kind of hair do you want to put on your pirate? I'm going to put like this crazy, like, I don't know, like it would be like noodle hair on my guy. It can have like this kind of crazy type of hair, but you can put any kind of hair you want on yours. You can put like little squiggly lines in there. You can do any kind of thing like that if you want, guys. Any sort of thing that you want. And we got that. You could put some stripes on here because pirates wear striped shirts. And as you get that done, you can start to color this in and give your character some life, right? So let's say my pirate has this gray and red shirt, right? And I can start to give it life. And as you start to color it, when you're doing it, now your character starts to come to life and you can start telling a story with it. You can make up all kinds of stories about where this pirate came from, why his pirate's life is different, why they would choose to go out on the seven seas, you know, all this different things like this. You can make up any kind of story that you want as you start to make these. And this is the fun part of starting to create things, is that you can kind of bring to life an idea that you didn't know when you sat down to make it that this was an idea. And that is the beauty of doing this stuff. So make sure that you sign it, guys. Be happy. Goodbye. See you, Marley. Good to see you. So, guys, as we're wrapping up here, just a couple reminders as we wrap up. Starting Monday, we have our new schedule from 2 to 3. 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern time is what we're going to do. It's going to allow more people to show up, all that stuff like that. We have a structure where we're going to do Monday, Monster Me. Tuesday is Cut It Out Tuesday. We're going to do Cut Paper. Wednesday is Wonder What We're going to do, which is going to be weird and focused all about you. Thursday, we are going to be doing Things with Tales Thursday, and Fridays, we're just hanging out. We're going to hang out, have fun, and we're going to play games, and we're going to do all this other stuff like that, and just have a conversation and have some fun. So guys, if you could share this video, let other people know what's going on, share what Wonder Friends is all about. Maybe you're in different groups and stuff like that. Let your friends know. Let everybody know about what we're doing here, and hopefully we can reach out to some more kids, have some fun, create some stuff, make some magic. And just remember, because you're stuck inside does not mean that you can't sprinkle your magic on somebody else's day. Take your drawings and give them away to people. Put them on the mailbox. Put them on your neighbor's door. Mail them to grandma and grandpa. Mail them to a friend. There's all kinds of ways that you can bring joy to your life just for you being you, because you are pretty amazing. Take a moment to be kind to yourself. Remind yourself that you are cool. Embrace your uniqueness, because you are one of a kind, and practice it every day. Be the unicorn. The key to happiness is embracing your unicorniness. And I will see you guys Monday, 4/27, at our new time, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. I will see you guys later. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.